Namaste, dear friends. Welcome to our Messages from Gabriel series. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope this is helpful for you. Hello, Gabriel.
Hello, Anya.
How are you today?
I'm truly blessed, sister. Yep.
My question for you today is a question that I get a lot from my students and friends. How often should we meditate?
I mean, in truth, by the end of the realization that you're seeking, which is infinite peace, meditation will be all that you do. But meditation will have transformed by that point from being something that's difficult and challenging to something that brings you such deep inner peace. To understand meditation, it's a practice. You know, we're sitting down and we're confronting our thinking mind that thinks we should get up and do something else rather than just sit there. You know, meditation is this practice of how to calm our anxious mind. Once you begin to meditate, at first it's really difficult, but it's a practice, and you start to have some aha moments about how to quiet the thinking mind. The thinking mind works so different than we're used to. When we chase after it, it runs away. When we run away from it, it chases us. It's literally a shadow in a sense, and it's very difficult to figure out how to work with it. But once we learn to meditate, we gain an understanding about how to calm and quiet the thinking mind. Through meditation, you begin to develop, I call them arrows in a quiver. You can think of it like you're doing karmic battle in your inner realm against your thinking mind, and you have all these different ways that you know to quiet the thinking mind. In this situation, you calm the wounded inner child, you know, and that's your meditation to bring your mind to a quiet place. And in other ones, you just get into a state of deep surrender and keep surrendering, you know. Other ones you might chant or do mantras. They're all forms of meditation. You're seeking for ways to overcome the thinking mind, you know, that's attacking you in a sense. And it seems really difficult at first when you meditate, but that's like playing any sport or learning any instrument. It doesn't really work at first, you know. It takes practice to do, but then you start to gain insight, and even some of your insights you trade up for greater insights, and before you know it, when thinking arises, then you're just peaceful and you know what to do to quiet it. Once meditation starts once you're able to begin to have experiences of quieting your mind and be able to calm yourself down to a state of like deep peace, then meditation becomes a lot more intuitive. Then it becomes a matter of you kind of monitor your energy throughout the day. And when you notice that, oh, I'm a little anxious, or my mind's spinning, or I'm worried about this thing, then you stop for a moment and you center yourself and you do a little meditation to find peace. You find yourself, as your meditation practice grows stronger, you find yourself doing this more and more. There's no need to rush it, you know, but you do find yourself doing it more and more. And over time, you just start to realize that when the mind's spinning or active or worried, that you just apply meditation. Before you know it, it's in the present moment. Without even thinking, you're monitoring your energy and you're applying meditation the whole time to keep yourself in this state of peace.
So what would you say to someone who, because you just said, if the mind is active, what exactly does that mean? And why would that be a bad thing? And the reason I'm asking this is because I'm traveling back in time right now to my former academic self who got a PhD, and if the mind was active, that was a fantastic thing, you know. In your understanding, why would that be something? Why would an active mind be something we're trying to heal?
Yeah, it's because we're trying to peer beyond that thinking mind. the my my intuition is in those times that you had highs of excitement around the thinking, but there were also periods of great struggle in that time.
Oh yeah.
As well. And so it is with life, you know, and what you come to find along the way is that the true peace that you're seeking is a realization of what lies beyond that thinking, what lies beyond these forms that we take. What are we before we are born into being, and what are we after we die? You know, it's finding out what we are, the essence of what we are, which is ultimately the realization of ourself as consciousness. But if the thinking mind's active, then you can't have that realization, because that realization is of what it is to not think, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. But so yes, the thinking mind is exciting, and when it's on a path that's accomplishing what it sets out to, gain more information, gain something that it wants, you know? I mean, intentions can be beautiful too, but still they're trying to fill a hole sometimes that's, you know, a void we're feeling within ourselves. And so when we get into, you know, if you start at a job and you're making lots of money, then you start to fulfill those desires that you have, and for a time it begins to feel good. But then struggle just keeps arising in life, karmic struggle, you know? And so the question eventually comes, I just want to be done with the struggle forever. What's the path? And that's what we're looking for in those instances. So yeah, thinking's not the enemy. That's important to see. Like, thinking's, and ultimately ego, which is the one that's thinking, the false self that we created, you know, like when we were little children and conditioned to be something other than ourself, you know. Thinking's not wrong per se. It's the thinking mind is our greatest friend. It's actually the one that leads us on this healing journey out of the karma. But all it knows at first is its conditioning, you know, and there comes a time where the thinking just gets too much, the struggle just gets too much, and then we take up practices like healing and meditation. And as we begin to quiet the thinking mind, we begin to realize greater truths about the nature of our being and where the peace that we're seeking lies.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day, everyone.
Namaste.
Happy meditations. Namaste. Shanti, 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 shanti.